Welcome to part 11 of my DCEU series. This is the first part since the introduction of the multiverse, and I've been trying to think of the best way possible for you to understand what is happening on each Earth. I decided that I just go in order by numbers. So Earth 0 is the Earth that we've been following up until Flashpoint or Flash 3. Earth Prime has CW shows on it. That leaves us to Earth 1, which is exactly like Earth 0, except for the fact that Darkseid lost as soon as he got to Earth. So that means that Atlantis and Themyscira is okay on Earth 1. Earth 1 is also the Earth that Barry woke up on at the end of Flashpoint. Also, I want what happened to Selena and Helena to stay the same as well. So they're still dead. With all that being said, the first movie to take place on Earth 1 is The Batman 4. The movie starts with a flashback to Batman and Jason Todd stopping a group of thugs that are a part of the Falcone crime family. Bruce sees that there is a kid that is working with the Falcone crime family and is now being arrested for the first time. Bruce tells the kid that his life is not over because of this one decision. However, he should leave this lifestyle and start building a better life for himself. A good starting point is to maybe find a role model to be like. We then flash forward to the present, and we see Robin taking down the Mad Hatter, who managed to capture Batman. As they are leaving the Hatter, we see a man watching over them from the rooftops. Batman and Robin then go back to the Batcave, and Alfred has a terrified look on his face. Bruce asks him what's wrong. Alfred still doesn't say anything as he turns on the news. The news says that the Mad Hatter and the cops that were carrying him to Arkham Asylum are dead, and they were killed by Batman. Bruce doesn't believe what he is hearing, and his first instinct is to go out to try and clear his name. Alfred and Robin try to talk reason into Bruce, because if Bruce goes out as Batman, he'll be hunted down by every single police officer since they think that Bruce killed one of their own. Bruce says that he understands that, but Gotham needs Batman, even if they don't know it. Before Robin and Alfred can say anything, they hear about a shootout between some of the crime families in Gotham, including the Falcone family. Bruce goes to stop them alone as Batman. Batman manages to take out all the crime families, even sending some officers as well. When the fighting is over, the police surround him. Some of the cops try to shoot him, but the others try to arrest him. Jim Gordon is the one trying to arrest Batman. Since Jim is the police commissioner, he is able to convince the rest of the officers to take Batman with him, while the crime family members are taken to the station in the other police cars. While Gordon is driving Batman to the station, Batman is trying to convince Gordon that he didn't kill the Mad Hatter or the other police officers. However, Gordon doesn't believe him, and Gordon gets angry when he says that his daughter, Barbara, looked up to Batman when he saved her from a group of parademons during the attack from Darkseid. Now he doesn't know what he's going to tell her when he explains why her hero is in jail. The radio in the car then goes off, and one of the police officers says that they had been attacked by someone who is trying to free the crime family members. That's when we hear a scream, and then silence. Batman asks for Jim to let him help, but Gordon doesn't want to risk anything because it could be a partner of Batman's. So Gordon calls for backup and an ambulance to go to the officer's location. Batman goes first, "Sorry, Jim," and then bangs Gordon's head on the steering wheel, allowing him to escape. When Batman escapes, he heads to the location where Gordon told the backup to go. When he gets there, he sees a person in a white hood with a red mask that is covering their face. The person has a sword to the throat of the leader of the Falcone crime family, Carmine Falcone. They tell Falcone that he ruined their life. That's when Batman interferes and stops the person from killing Carmine. The person looks at Batman and asks him why he stopped him. Why did Batman take down the good guy when the good guy was in control of the bad guy? Batman says that when the good guy is about to kill the bad guy, then the good guy is no better than the bad guy. The person just says that Batman has changed since they last saw each other, and that time has caused Batman to have gone soft. Batman says that he hasn't gone soft, and it's about respecting the other person. The hooded person laughs and says they explain how Falcone is escaping right now. Batman then looks behind him and sees Falcone running away. This distracts Batman just enough for the hooded person to take advantage and attack Batman. The hooded person is able to stay in control of the fight, and they are able to knock out Batman. They then turn their attention back to Falcone. They say that they have waited a long time for this moment, and they then take out their sword and kill Falcone as soon as Batman wakes up. This is when Robin shows up to help. The hooded person looks at Robin, then looks at Batman, and then says, "Who's this new kid?" Robin looks at Batman and asks what they are talking about. The person says that you haven't told your new Robin that he's not the first, that there was another Robin before him. They then say that Batman should fix this problem before handling them, because it seems like that is a more important situation at this time, and they then leave. Batman tries to explain everything to Robin, but Robin doesn't listen. The only thing that Robin says is that after everything I've done with you and all the times that I have saved you, you do something like this. You should have left me at that circus so I could die along with my parents, but you just wanted another version of you in this world, Bruce. Bruce is left speechless as Robin runs away. Batman returns to the Batcave and he is very shaken up about how things ended with Robin. However, he realizes that he needs to find out who the person in the hood and mask is. He then remembers the comment about Batman going soft, and that makes him realize that this person knew him before he made his no-killing rule and when he was still Jason. Then he starts to think about the people he killed and why they would matter so much. Then he remembers what he told that kid at the beginning of the movie, and he figured that the person wanted to be like them. So when Batman was in trouble with the Mad Hatter, the person wanted to help. Batman also remembers that the kid was part of the Falcone crime family, which explains why the person would go after Carmine Falcone. So Batman thinks of a plan that has Alfred send a fake message to all of Gotham and calling out Batman. Batman thinks that will hopefully get the fake Batman out of hiding. So Batman goes to the place that Alfred said the crime was going to take place at. He is on a rooftop waiting for the masked kid to show up. When he does show up, Batman jumps from the top of the rooftop to confront him. Batman tells them about the fake video to get them there, and that the reason why he used the video is because he found out who they were and he just wanted to talk with them. The person says that they tried to talk before. Why does Bruce think that this time will be any different? Because if Batman starts to try and convince them to stop killing, then he should just keep his mouth shut. Batman says that if that is the case, then Batman will have to show them how much the no-killing rule works. This starts the final fight of the movie. The fight ends with the masked person realizing that they can't beat Batman. The person sits and says that he admits that there's a possibility that the tactic of not killing the bad guys can be beneficial, but in some fights, killing is the only option. They then make a promise that they will only kill if it's the only solution. They then say that when they started that they wanted to be like Batman, but they realize now that there can only be one Batman, so from now on they will go by another name, the name of Azrael. Before Azrael leaves, they say that they were trained to fight the same place that Batman was trained at, Bruce, which is Nana Parbat, and they were also trained by Ra's al Ghul. And when they were there, the last time they heard they were coming to Gotham, so he better be ready. Azrael then leaves Bruce. The movie ends with Bruce trying to get a hold of Robin and try to get him to come back. However, every phone call ends in a voicemail. On the last call, Bruce says that if Dick wants to know everything about him and Batman, then he needs to come home because he's going after his teacher at Nana Parbat. The post-credit scene is us seeing the death of Jason Todd and see the building about to fall on him. However, on this Earth, it's different. When the building lands on Jason, he falls through the ground and lands in some kind of green pit. The next movie of this part is happening on Earth 2. And every movie that happens on this Earth are prequels to the Stargirl TV show. So to start this Earth off, we will have a Flash movie, but instead of it being Barry Allen, it will be Jay Garrick. The movie starts in the late 30s to early 1940s. We see Jay in a college chemistry lab. Jay and his lab partners get an out-of-class extra assignment for extra credit. Jay is the only one who wants to do this assignment, but his partners doesn't want to do the experiment because it is very difficult. However, Jay never looks the other way when it comes to a challenge. During the experiment, everything is going great at first. However, when Jay inhales water mixed with cyclone from a test tube, it causes him to pass out. Then his partners find him laying on the floor. They then take Garrick to the hospital. At the hospital, the doctor that was working on Garrick tell Garrick's lab partners that he will be fine, and that none of the doctors have ever seen anything like it before. They go and wait for Garrick to wake up, and when he does, the first thing that he sees is the face of the female lab partner, and he immediately falls in love. He says, "Hey, Joan," and then he manages to ask what happened to him, and the two explain what happened. Once Jay gets better, he is allowed to get out of the hospital. One of the first things that he does is ask out Joan. On their date, Joan asks him why he thinks that he got better as quick as he did. Jay says that his theory is that when he inhaled the cyclotron particles that were in the water, it caused his metabolism to increase. Suddenly, there's a drive-by shooting that is targeting Joan. Once Jay hears the gunshot sound, his powers kick in, and he manages to run fast enough to catch all the bullets before they hit her. Jay then takes Joan home. Joan asks how he ran as fast as he did. Jay says that he thinks that it must be a side effect of the increase of metabolism. He then asks her who she thinks shot at her. Joan says that she has no idea who it could be. That's when there's a knock on the door, and then a letter gets slid underneath. Joan picks the letter up and reads it. It says that Joan got lucky when she escaped the first time. And even if she got lucky, her father wasn't. Then she reads that the letter was signed by DeVoe. Joan doesn't know what to say. Jay goes to console her to see if she is alright. He then asks her if she knows anyone that goes by DeVoe. She said that she doesn't know anyone. That's when there's a smoke grenade coming through the window. Jay quickly grabs the bomb and runs it to a deserted place so no one can get hurt. He got back just fast enough to catch the guy that threw it. Once Jay catches him, he asks the guy why he threw the bomb. The guy says that their employer told them to do it. Jay asks him who his employer is. The guy says that he works for Clifford DeVoe. Garrick speed punches the guy to knock him out. He then walks over to a chair and ties the guy up. He then asks Joan to help him make a tracker. When they get finished making the tracker, they wake up the guy and they tell him the plan to send him to the place that DeVoe is at, and they'll know where that is by using the tracker. They then eject the tractor into the skin and they let him go. We then see Jay and Joan following the guy from a distance. He walks to where DeVoe is, and he says that the job is completed and the daughter is dead. DeVoe asks where the body is. The person says that the body was destroyed, so he couldn't receive it. But then he hands DeVoe a letter. After DeVoe reads the letter, he says that they need to send everyone to the prisoner. While this is happening, Jay and Joan have managed to find where Joan's father is. They are about to free him when they're attacked by DeVoe's henchmen. Jay quickly takes them all out, but then he gets hit by an energy beam. Joan looks and sees the guy that they put the tracker in holding a fiddle and says that it was a gift from DeVoe. He then takes all three of them to DeVoe. Once they get to DeVoe, Joan asks him why he is trying to kill her father. DeVoe explains that before he was in control of the crime underground, he was a lawyer. However, he lost a case that he thought should have been an easy victory. So with this intellect challenge, he wanted to take away what mattered most to the people that challenged that intellect. And he wanted to start with the lawyer on the other side of the case, which was Joan's father. DeVoe then takes out a gun and points it at Joan. He then thinks and says that instead of him killing Joan, he's going to make her father do it. He then tells the fiddler to use his fiddle to hypnotize Joan's father. DeVoe then gives the gun to him so he could shoot Joan. While this is happening, Jay has waken up and has vibrated his hands so he can get free. He then runs and hits the fiddler to knock him out. With the fiddler knocked out, that frees Joan's father from being hypnotized when he takes the gun and shoots DeVoe in the leg. Jay then gets a pair of handcuffs and handcuffs Fiddler and DeVoe together. The movie ends with Jay and Joan asking Joan's father if they could date, and he gives them his approval. However, there's a knock on the door. Jay opens the door, and it's someone from the United States government, and they say that they know about Jay's abilities, and they want him to help them fight in World War II. The first post-credit scene is DeVoe and the Fiddler sitting in their prison cell. Fiddler asks him what is his new plan for making Joan's father punished. DeVoe then says that he has a new goal, and that goal is to become the fastest thinker alive, so he can beat the fastest man alive. The second post-credit scene is back on Earth 1 with the fight against Steppenwolf, Desaad, and Lex. We see Lex shoot Wildcat again, and Wildcat disappearing. However, we see Wildcat waking up on Earth 2 because of the material in the gun and him not knowing where he is. The final movie of this part is on Earth 3, and it's the real-life Joker movie with nothing different than what happened in the real one. So, with that being said, thanks for watching part 11 of this series. Please like, comment, and subscribe.